We got 52 chains. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? This is
How's
a
it going?
this is an interview I've been wanting to get, and it's funny because you know, me starting this pod back up, um, chat was like, "Yo, you need to get 52 chains on a pod," and I'm like, and I was streaming. I'm like, you know what? Let me hit him up, and I hit you up when I was streaming, and you were streaming, and you hit me back. You're like, yeah, and we set a date. You stuck to it, and you pulled up, man. I welcome to the show. Appreciate you.
Punctual King. Listen, I'm a good timekeeper, my broski.
We gotta get into it first. We gotta get into like the obvious, okay? No one knew Carmine was black. What's going what's going
I'm a brother in disguise. You know, no, I get it a lot. I remember so I was telling you before we went live that I do podcasts. I did podcasts back in the day, and all
Yeah.
the guests we had on, they'll be confused as shit, fugazied. They wouldn't know what's going on because I look nothing, and some people say I sound like my character, but I look nothing like the type of character I play, right?
Yeah.
And
Go ahead.
if you put me up next to my character and his antics, you'd be like, nah,
And
I don't see it.
that's the crazy thing, because somebody said it in my chat like 2 months ago. They're like, yo, you know Carmine 52 Chains, he's black, right? I'm like, black? Because I was talking about black people on No Pixel. And I was like, man, there's probably like a handful, but I wish it like, we get a little bit more, eventually, like moving the culture forward, whatever. And I think they were naming a few, and then they're like 52 chains. I was like, bro, come on. I wish I could find that clip. I was like, what you mean 52 chains is black? They're like, yo, I swear to you, he's black. I seen his podcast. I'm like, man, cut that shit out, man. Cut that shit out. He ain't black, whatever. And then they put a link in the chat. I went to the pod. I was like, this guy's black. So I was like, yo, that's amazing. That shows how like even crazier RP is, bro.
Imagine if I said, I say, listen, I talk differently when I'm like not on the internet.
Yeah.
Imagine if one day I just wake up on Carmine and I just drop the M bomb. Everybody's gonna freak out.
Honestly, you might hit 10,000. You might hit 10,000 concurrent viewers. You know what I mean? It might be.
Yeah.
It might be a good thing. It might be it's what you call viral, right?
Yeah.
And you ain't doing that wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Another thing is, people don't know this, but I'm from the UK as well.
Yeah, they did say that.
American.
They did say that in the chat. You're British.
Yeah.
So what's your like ethnic, like are you Somalian?
African.
East African? Okay.
How'd you know? How'd you know that?
Huh?
You fucking ethnicity ID'd me? What the fuck?
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm coaching, man. I know, you know what I'm saying? Nah, I got good friends, like because I'm originally from Toronto, so Toronto's like a very big mountain pot.
Yeah.
So I got a lot of Somalian friends, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Huge community down there. I thought you're Canadian?
Well, I'm not Canadian, like born Canadian, but yeah, I lived in Canada for a very long time, so like Toronto.
Yeah, I got a few cousins, relatives down there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, man.
Canada's a hotspot
Canada
for my peoples.
Yeah, Toronto is a melting pot of like West Indies, African culture, all combined in one. So it's almost like UK, you know. So, but yeah, let's get into it, man. I want to know where you started from, and like what was the beginning of 52 Chains?
How did that, what, like in like role play type shit?
Like just like
The name.
Did you start like streaming into roleplay, or was you doing other things before that?
I started doing role play before I got into streaming. Like role play came first for me. It wasn't like GTA. I started on this was back when people were playing Arma and GTA wasn't popping off. There was a game called Gary's Mod, right? And it's a mod from Counter-Strike 2 or some shit. and you can play like roles like mayor and all. You can play as a mayor, a cop, whatever.
Yeah.
And I used to do that shit. And it wasn't really role play. It was like self-insert,
Yeah.
including along with shit talking and rule breaks. And there was a lot of kids playing it. I was young.
Yeah.
And it was a toxic cesspool, but fuck, man, it was fun. I did that for maybe a year or two.
Yeah.
And then I started playing PUBG with a group of friends, and one of them put me onto this is 2017 or 18, I can't remember. But it was early days when Nopxiel was like super new.
Yeah.
They used to watch CG, okay?
Yeah.
And I think my first the first person I watched doing role play was, I think it was Lord Kevin. It might have not been. It might have been Milton T. Pike. But
Okay.
I was watching. I was like, "What the fuck is this?
Yeah,
What
yeah.
the hell? This guy's making money doing fucking weird voices and shit."
Yeah.
Wait, and I didn't get super into it. And then like a year or two later, I started doing role play myself, right, on GTA. I got into it. I played on a server called The Good Life, and then I transitioned to another server on Red Dead. Back when Red Dead started popping off, I played on a server called Wild West RP.
Wild West. Okay.
And yeah, this was like the first like kind of mainstream Red Dead 2 server that a couple Nopxiel people hopped onto. And I ran into Kyle, who
Kyle Pred.
Yeah, Kyle Pred.
Yeah.
And I did some shit with him, and then he recommended me, and then I got onto Nopxiel, and I started off playing a Crim.
So wait, when you was in Red Dead, what character was you playing? Like what?
A fucking bandit, man. A bandit who would sit between towns and wait for people to come from. So Valentine and Rhodes are the big towns, right?
Yeah.
I'd sit in the middle. There's a bridge that connects the two. I'd wait there, and I'd do a bunch of stupid shit, like dress up as a lady or whatever and ask for help. And then people would come over and try and help me or whatever. Oh, my caravan broke down. And boom, I'd up a shotgun or something on them, and I'd take them for all they're worth, and then I'd run away with it, and then I'd come back to town, having spent all that money, dressed up in fucking golden robes and shit.
Yeah.
Oh man, I miss those days. I don't know what it is with servers that don't have like a viewer base that just has role players. I don't know. I feel like the RP on servers like that sometimes is more authentic.
Yeah.
Nobody's like, there's no
there's no OOC drive, ulterior drive, right?
Yeah.
So the clout chasing and stuff. So it's just like it's pure comedy, pure gold, pure like
exactly.
Yeah.
And that character was hated just as much as Carmine is, but that character had a gun.
Yeah.
Okay, he was hated for he was hated not for talking shit. He was hated for like robbing everyone.
Yeah.
And I'd go to town, and then all the townspeople fucking get pissed off, and they chase me out of town. So you have there's no rule of 4, so you'd have like half the server lobby chasing you out of town into other towns, hunting parties for you, looking for you.
Damn.
And I used to stream that shit, but because a bunch of people didn't stream on that server, stream sniping was an epidemic.
Yeah.
So if you were the one guy streaming fucking with people, yeah, you jump up to like 30 viewers or some shit on the server.
But it's all people in the server. Yeah.
Watching.
Yeah.
And I remember I used to get reported, and they'd use my fucking clips against me and shit. It was funny. But yeah, and like after doing that for I think a year and a half, I don't know. Then 2.0 came along. 2.0 was around.
Yeah.
Early 2.0, I hopped on that shit. I was in there. I got Prio, I think, in my first week from Matthew Payne. I was playing a Crim that was working the wheat fields.
Yeah.
Like a cartel type guy. And I go into the city, and I was doing pretty much what a Changaloa does, right?
Yeah.
Back in the day, they'd go into the city, and then they'd just pick up a bunch of people in their cars to take them up north, and then make them work the fields.
Yeah.
I did that shit, and I'd pay them like I would pay them wages. Okay, I was a good tyrant. I'd pay my workers.
You was a tyrant with morals.
Exactly. So if I got like 10K from the run, I'd give them 1K each or something like that. I'm not gonna tell them how much I made.
Yeah.
But I'll give them something that puts a smile on their face.
Yeah.
I did that for a bit, and then I I think the last like 3 weeks of 2.0, I was experimenting. I watched a movie called Casino,
Yeah.
and I made the character. I wanted to make an Italian a mafioso character, right? And I wanted to model him after Joe Pesci. And I gave him a try a couple of times, and I liked it. I liked the character idea, and I saved it for 3.0.
Yeah.
And then 3.0 rolled around, and I didn't play.
Why? Why is that?
I had prior. I could get into the server. It wasn't a problem. It was just the culture, man. I don't know. When did you come around?
I came around a year and a half after 3.0, and then I got banned. I got banned for like 9 months.
Yeah. Have you heard of? I haven't seen any bans for 4.0. At least nothing that's like hit mainstream. I don't think everyone's playing it cool. I don't. Maybe it's because there's no guns in the server. Maybe the bans come as soon as the guns get introduced.
that's the thing, right? I haven't heard no bans right now, and the quality of roleplay for 4.0 has just been really good. And I think again, Coil and the admin teams and the dev teams have done a good way of like, because I don't feel like it's a mechanic driven system no more. It's like an open world. Like, what I'm saying? You see what K's doing with like the SIM card stuff. Like you could kind of do whatever.
God. Don't say that devil's name in my presence.
We're gonna talk about it. But yeah, you stopped playing 3.0 because of the culture. Like, you want to elaborate on that?
Oh yeah, because 3.0, early 3.0, there's a lot of big streamers.
Yeah.
Like the ones that are around now, but this was before they knew anything about roleplay. Like it was their first introduction to it.
Yeah.
And I feel like Nopxiel hit a point of what's the word? Hype or like interest, like internet interest. It hit a
peak.
certain point of interest. Yeah, it peaked like heavy. So a lot of people wanted to get in, and the first couple months, it felt like nobody wanted to role play with anyone that had less than 1,000 viewers.
Yeah.
And even then, even if you had 1,000 viewers, nobody wanted to role play with you unless you're one of the new guys who's hitting 10K and shit, right?
Yeah.
And I was around for that, and I was thinking, ooh, new server, new wipe is gonna be fucking fun.
Yeah.
People gonna be doing shit out of their comfort zone. But I don't know. Maybe I just got the blunt end of the stick, but I was not feeling it, man. I got burnt out quick. I didn't want to do it. I just dipped.
So do you feel like that with 4.0?
No.
Yeah.
No, I feel like I feel like the clout chasing and I feel like it's not as bad.
Okay.
It's way more tame now. And no, I don't like back then you'd get skipped over you'd walk around and you just get skipped by everybody. And then
was it bigger back then?
Yeah, it was. I'd say maybe it's warped perspective, but I'd say 3.0 the 3.0 Cloud Demon arc was
crazy.
Was way worse, yeah.
Yeah.
Way more worse, but it's way better now. Now I can hold conversations with everybody and anybody.
Yeah, that's how like I feel with certain things, because it's like you don't even want to like talk to some people because you're just like, yo, they've got such a large viewer base. You don't want to seem like you're like even clout chasing. So I kind of steer away from that. Like people that have crazy views, if you know OOC. That's why most of the people I talk to, like sometimes chat will be like, oh, that's so and so. I like when I don't know who they are.
That's the best way to go into it, in my opinion.
Yeah. So so you took a break, and then what? You came back. Like, when did you come back in 3.0?
I came back when so the casino was this thing, right? I think casino was dropped month 2 or 3. I'm not sure. I don't remember too well. But I saw the casino, and I saw that it had a little bit of interest to it, and it was fizzling out. And usually when things are like about to die, it's usually the best time to get into it, because people are losing interest, and you can go there and you can like give it a new spin. Yeah. So I took my character Carmine. I made him for the casino. I watched a movie called The Casino, and I made the fucking character, man.
Yeah.
And then I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna do this casino shit. So I went there and I pretended to work there, and all I did was grief people. And I feel like that was a period I had the most interactions on the character. People would come to the casino and they'd do shit, and I'd be there, yelling at them, telling them to, wipe their feet down or some shit. And if they didn't listen, I'd call the cops, and it was funny. It was funny because people go there to chill out, right? Calm down and just, grind the mechanic. And imagine going there and then there's this guy forcing you to role play with him.
Yeah, yeah.
You get like there's a huge spectrum of reactions. You get on one end people that get super pissed off.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, molting, like really mad. Like they I don't even think they hate my character. I think they hate me now.
Yeah, yeah.
On the other end, you'd have people that would enjoy it. And I did that for on and off. I didn't stream it. I just did that for fun.
Yeah.
Like I just fuck with people when they came to the casino. And I did that for maybe 4 months or something. And then I took a little semi break. And then one day I came back. This was maybe late 2021 now. Like almost 1 year of 3.0. I come back and then I run into Sab's cop for like the first time after a year of playing. And he says, "Hey, I like you. I'm going to bring you into the PD." And that's when I started streaming, and we got fired from PD, a year later?
Yeah.
I'm happy about that. I remember when I went into PD, I was like, ain't no way I'm lasting more than a month or two.
Yeah.
But I did a year of that shit with getting suspended 101 times. But
to be honest with you, like I think like I could be wrong, but like most like cop characters are like, that's them, right? Like them in the sense where, if something happens in PD, they'll just play it like another character, or you know what I mean? Like I liked your arc because you got fired and you continue to be Carmine, and you built up this whole like this whole arc, this whole aura, like, and it's crazy because you didn't need PD, and I think that's right. I think that goes. I think like a lot of people respect it, but I feel like that's mad underrated because that was huge. Like people who get fired from PD, like they go into like this negative spiral. It's hard for them. Only a few. I think Kyle Pred did well doing that too when he got fired from PD, or he quit. And he went on and built his character up like the end of 3.0. But like you really like got fired, then you went DLC. You built a lot of arcs that were just around you. Like how does your mind how do you come up with this stuff? Like what goes through your mind, because you're like improving?
I'm gonna be honest, I deserve no credit, man. I remember when I got fired, I was like, okay, this is it. Raps, I'm done. I'll see you guys on the flip side, maybe 4.0, whatever. I was actually gonna dip. I was highly considering it because, once you do, you did PD and Prodigy, right? Imagine Prodigy imagine PD being your only avenue for roleplay, and a server's like well into its progression. Everybody's already clicked up or whatever, and the financial structure is already established, and you have millionaires. When you get fired from PD, it's almost like starting fresh.
No, for
brand
real.
new. And not just that. Imagine starting fresh, but not just a cop, but a cop everyone hates.
Yeah.
I see, right? And I was like, you know what? I'm done. But then some shit happened. Right after getting fired, I got taken to prison, right? And then I got picked up by them. If that didn't happen, I feel like I'd be fucked. And another thing that happened was CG kept coming to prison, right? And I feel like that gave me my second wind, because now I'm at prison and I'm still doing shit, and it's still fun. And there's still a buzz.
we would love to go to jail just because Carmine was there. Like everybody was complaining about going to jail and like because there was nothing to do, but like you really turned up like the DOC in the jail. Like you really made it like, man, like if there was something like even a little bit built around that prison arc you was doing, I think it would have been crazy. Like, cause you really turned nothing into something,
Yeah, it was. usually when people think of DOC and working DOC is like a dead end job, right? You go there not because you want to be there. You go there because you want to either use it as a springboard to get into PD, or
Yeah.
you just want to be on the server because it gives prio. Nobody actually wants to. Not a lot of people want to do the job, and I had that same mindset too. But when LK kept griefing the prison, I mean, I feel like if none of that happened, I probably wouldn't. I don't know. I probably would have fizzled out into boredom and obscurity. So I got really lucky with timing.
Yeah. And like your relationship with LK, man, it's like, to me, like LK's like, I think he's my number one. Well, he is my number one favorite role player, like as far as just all round. And like the way you bounce off of him, the creativity, like that's like, to me, that's crazy. So like how did that even relationship come about where you guys were like, have this relationship that you have now with Carmine and Mr. K?
The first time we met, the first time I met him and like CG as like a group was when I was working at the casino, and I did what I usually do. I grief people, right?
Yeah.
And like I don't watch streams too often, especially back then. Now I kind of do.
Yeah.
But back in the day, I never did. So I didn't know too much about people. I hopped on one day, just a random day. I hopped on, and I could hear like explosions or something in the fucking casino. Like the ground was shaking. There was a helicopter on the roof that wasn't supposed to be there. So I go up there to take a look. So and there's this microphone set up there too for announcements, or whatever. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
And I went on the microphone and I was like, "Hey, whoever the fuck is up here, I swear to God, if you don't leave, I'm calling the cops." And as soon as I say that into the microphone, the stand is like south of the southern region of the building, the microphone stand. And if you look to your right, there's a little passage that leads around the back of the helipad.
Yeah.
And it has these little rooms that has something to do with the casino heist. I see someone peek out, and they're all masked up and shit. I'm like, who the fuck is that? And then they do a double take, and then they run away again. And then I follow them. And the next thing you know, I get insta-cuffed, get dragged, get put in one of the rooms. And that was my first encounter, I think. And they left me in that room for, I think, 30 minutes, and then I just F8 quit.
Yeah.
I didn't think but that was our first interaction. My first interaction was me griefing them and then putting me in a box because of it. But, after that, I don't know. I don't know how it started. I know it's been smoke since day one.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever been on good terms. Maybe it's just because he's an op. You don't bite your tongue when you're talking to your ops. This.
So how do you get? Have you always been like witty with your comebacks? Like always been like, really good with the banter. I
think it's a learned skill playing the character for so long. I think maybe I had it before, but I don't know. I feel like playing the character, and when you put on, when you put on a character's voice,
yeah,
and you like detach it from yourself, and now you're playing this caricature, whatever, and he's a skinny Italian guy. Maybe I don't know. Maybe because I'm playing him, these ideas come to my head, and I just say whatever the fuck I think he would say, and that's it. It's pretty good.
So, do you like, as far as like, would you say Carmine now is your main character?
That sucks. Yes. Yes, that character is my fucking, that's my main, man. God.
Yeah. Why you say it? You paused and said it sucks. Why do you say it sucks?
Like that. Because who would want a character like that as their main?
Why? What's wrong with that?
Imagine your main being a fucking grief lord. Imagine your main being a guy that just causes people problems.
I think I don't know. I think I'm looking forward to like the Carmine, like when you're planning on going back to PD, right?
I don't know if that's gonna happen. Guess who ruined that, by the way?
Who?
Guess who lit that fucking torch? Mr. K. Mr. Karen. You know what he did? These last 2 weeks, he's been calling the captain of police, the one guy that can let you into PD, and all he's been saying is, "Hey, Carmine's crooked. Carmine's doing this. He's witness tampering." Just snitching, straight snitching, 24/7 snitching on my name.
I think,
And now any reputation I had with Slacks is gone. It's finished.
no,
It's finished.
I
gotta wait for the character. I gotta wait for Slacks to be killed, I guess.
no.
Can you do that for me? Can you kill him, please, man? Please.
I think I think OOC they're gonna like they're gonna bring you in because like, bro, characters like you are needed, and like I hope they allow you to do like semi-corrupt stuff because I think that's without getting like IC punishment. Because I think it's cool, you know.
I'll be honest. I don't mind like being punished IC for like corruption or anything. I don't really mind any of that. And if I don't even get into PD, I wouldn't blame anybody because I made in character decisions to play my character the way I'm playing him. And if they think it's not conducive to how they want the police force, it is what it is.
So,
But I get why they didn't let me in initially. I don't get why they didn't let other people in, but I understand why they didn't let me in because they probably don't want the like the initial foundation of the police force to be to have a Carmine in it.
why though? I don't. I guess I'm not seeing it. Perspective.
I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example of why it wouldn't be the best thing. Carmine is a police officer. Everybody in the city knows police officers are the only people with like equipment and guns.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's been what, a month, and maybe 2 guns have been robbed from cops.
Yeah.
Tops. Now imagine Carmine was there day one with his gun, going around town, talking shit, doing what he does. There'd be 300 guns on the streets. People would be on their radio. They'd be like, "Hey, Carmine's on duty. Let's fucking get him. Hit a lick." My character would be a heist of his own. So I understand. I'd understand why they didn't make me a cop initially.
Okay. And then you've got that dynamic with Bobby.
Yeah.
So what would you do? Would you go to crim route or like
No,
business, Civ?
I don't know, man. I feel like 3.0 has ruined crim for me, and I don't know if 4.0 is going to be the same, but 3.0, the way the system was set up, it forced you to be a part of a big group, first of all, and it forced you to progress a certain linear path. And unless you were super creative, it'd be really hard to break away from it. Like, if you were a crim in 3.0, you either boosted, put down sprays, or hit banks.
Yeah.
Or sold weed or some shit. And there was like no nuance. And conflicts usually revolve around those mechanics. And I feel like when conflicts revolve around mechanics, it turns into, I don't know, it for me it sucks out the role play. And when I did play a Crim in 3.0 MG character, Marabunta Grande. My character name was Chewy. I did that shit, and it was the people I was doing it with. They were fun, like cool guys, but it was it was draining, man.
Yeah.
That shit. And the way I am, if I'm not having fun, I don't want to do it. So unless 4.0 is different Crim wise, I'm probably just gonna keep playing my character the way I'm playing him now.
Yeah. I think 4.0 is gonna be. I know what you're saying as far as like has to be a part of a big group. It was like, if
The
you
gang
were,
app
yeah, the
thing,
gang app.
yeah.
If you was like forced to go into a gang to do any type of, but I think that's changed. Obviously you're gonna have the big groups, because it is still a business, right? So but I think there's gonna be like newer people or people pushing the bar, like new faces pushing the bar. Maybe they've been in the server for a while, but I think 4.0 is gonna be the season of creation.
Yeah, I agree. So you have like your foundational mechanics, like doing grime or group 6, and they have a few people breaking away from the mold doing scammy shit,
Yeah.
like Mr. K. I can't wait for his ass to get caught for that shit. But I'll give him credit where credit's due. Okay, he's thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
He's yeah.
Even like the real estate stuff, like there's a lot like there's a lot you can do outside the box now.
What is the real estate? Is he just renting out his one house?
Well, I think it's just gonna be like you get a bunch of investors and you double down, like, you know, say you invest. It's like a real estate group, right? You just get a bunch of investors and you're gonna buy property, and now you could just say you buy the whole cul-de-sac, you know? Now you rent out to people.
How many houses did he have? Is he still at one or more?
I think it's at one or maybe going on two. That I don't know. I haven't been like Garrett was telling me in game about it. He was like, yo, we need to do this and blah blah blah. I was like, yo, this would be dope. I think there's
Imagine hiking the prices on your tenants.
That's the thing, right? That's
kicking them out, getting the moving truck outside.
The thing is, right? People, and it's like what you said with the crim mine, right? It's like, do group 6, do this, get money, bench, guns, control, right? But it's a market where everybody can have everything. So everybody will eventually have everything, right? So you got to think outside the box. Okay, well, in a year from now, when new people come into the server, all the real estate is going to be bought. You're not limited to like 1 or 2 houses anymore. You can start a real estate group and buy a whole block. Now you rent that block. Now you can say, hey, I'm going to increase your rent. You can make role play. I'm going to throw you out. I'm going to do this. You can make gangs pay you taxes. Even that would be cool. Like Carmine, what do you call that stuff? A tenant manager or whatever, a real estate manager, or whatever they call it. Like you're going around evicting people.
When did you find out about Nopxiel and roleplay? When was what was your first encounter with RP on this server specifically?
That's a good question. I was playing on a server before this. Like I have one of my homies from New York was like, yo, let's play GTA. And I'm like, bro, I don't play GTA. Like, I think we was playing like Apex at that time. He was like, nah, it's like modded. So I was like, what the hell is modded? I didn't even have like a PC. I was like Xbox. And then he was like, yo, like it's modded, blah, 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 blah. So I was like, all right, you know what? I had like a shitty computer, whatever, one of my sister's computers. So I'm like, let me check it out. So I got into the server and I just got addicted. Cause I was like, oh, this is not GTA. This is like a social gathering, you know? And I ended up getting a PC, getting into it, and then one of my friends told me about Chain Gang. And he's like, yo, they do cool heists, they do this. And then I seen them do some crazy heists. I was like, oh,
bro, no, they don't. All they do is moan. They stand in circles and moan. That's what they do.
No, I didn't.
Your friend lied to you.
No, I see the clip. I think it was like Rami, and I can't remember, but they was doing some crazy, and it was like an hour and a half long video, and I was like, oh, this is dope. But then someone told me like, yo, there's no way of getting into Nopxiel. Like, you do an app, you get denied.
So I was the same way. That's what I thought too back in the day. So
I didn't even look at it for like a year, and then somebody told me Nopxiel Public opened. So I was like, well, let's just go into Nopxiel Public, whatever. So I went into Nopxiel Public, and that's when I met Ming. So I met Ming, Turk, Marty, and I met them, whatever, and I was rolling around with Ming. And then it just got like really shitlordy, like people was coming in doing, I was like, man, I was like, you know what? Everybody's saying can't get into Nopxiel whitelist. I haven't tried it. Let me just try it. And then I applied and I got in.
Good shit.
And then
did you make music before? You probably did, right?
Yeah, I used to songwrite. So I used to like be in songwrite camps. I was like LA, New York. That was like what I did for a living, right? We'd make jingles, all of that stuff. And then I would do music, you know, for my own artistry, whatever. got into a label deal. Label deal went horribly south. Like I was like locked in, couldn't put out music type label deal, you know? And I was just like, man, I'm done with this shit. Like, you know, I'll write, I'll do stuff because like I have a bunch of like producer friends. They'd be like, yo, could you put a melody on this song? I was like, I'll do that because you know you'll get the bread and that's it, you know. And then yeah, when I was I think I was in public and we was people in the gang and my boy was like, yo, could you make a diss track? I was like, a diss track? I ain't done that. Like, and then I made a diss track and then the shit was just like, cause the gang was like really big, like, and they were like good at what they did. They was good at shooting and stuff, whatever. And we were like losing. And when I made the diss track, it dismantled them. Cause they were like, like, because the whole city didn't like them because of like they were like that good, whatever, like, you know, just like, you know, but now the whole city was singing a diss track, so you know they just felt like publicly embarrassed, so they just like kind of just like became friends with me, and I was like, oh, this shit's good, and I'm like, oh, let me make some more music, and it just became a thing. And then the first day I went into whitelist, I went to like Wu Chang, I played my music, and like P Money signed me.
Shit. All right, I'm gonna put that one in my back pocket. If you're losing a war, just make a diss track.
Bro,
And automatic U-turn.
Bro, it's funny. And then like P Money signed me, and then I met K, and then K told me about, I guess, like the Man Them Records was starting. He was like, yo, some of them was on a label, and I guess it was like Wicked, it was Tommy T, a few other guys. I didn't know any of these guys, right? And then I said in a song, Mr. K told me the Man Them switched on him. Da 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 da. I'm the new Wu Tang or whatever. I said something like that, right? And bro, I got like 1,000 hate comments, and that's when I felt the wrath of Nopxiel.
I remember back in the day that the music scene was big.
Yeah.
But because I was checked out for most of that period.
Yeah.
But Jesus, man, 1,000? Shit.
Bro, the hate comments was crazy. Who the fuck does this guy? This guy got in the server. This is meta. How does he know that? Like, I was getting accused for everything, and then you'll see other people in the comments like, Mr. K told him, and then I didn't know how to take it because I'm like, man, like, what did I do for these people to hate me? Like, this is just role play. This is not real, right?
But that's another thing. Like mid 3.0, the viewer base was super fucking invested, man. It was crazy. Like they had their firstborn child's life depended on how an encounter went, man. It was insane.
Like, so then your decisions, on how you move is kind of OOC based. Because you're like, I don't want to do this because this is going to affect this, you know? And a lot of people can't handle the comments, you know? And
yeah. Did you get a few oi bruvs?
Bro.
It was random, right? So you probably got a few oi bruvs. Shank in the pub, bruv. Bruv.
I remember I interacted with X one time, and X was on his cop. And I don't know what happened. X like tased and then fell off the bike. And then I think my boy X pulled out a gun and my boy ended up shooting him, whatever. And we had like a whole wave of like, because I was streaming. My boy wasn't streaming. And it was just like a whole wave of people. And like a lot of it was just like, yeah, it was cool. But then you'll get like the racist comments and shit like that.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah, and then it was just like a wave of like, because I'm streaming, I always get the end, the ER, blah blah blah. But this one was like they're like DMing you. I was like, bro, what? Like after a 30-second interaction, so it's kind of like you're like, ooh, let me stay away from this type shit, you know?
Yeah, back then he was pulling 100K, right?
He was pulling 100K, yeah, and he was on his cop.
You picked the worst time to associate. You should have cut ties with your boy right then. As soon as you saw the first juicer emote, you should have said, I don't know who this guy is, and left.
But it's A lot of the comments though, like on the chat, they were like very supportive. They were like, "Oh, this is fun, blah blah blah."
Yeah.
But you're always gonna get that, like, bro. Even being in CG, like you'll do something wrong, and they'll some of the viewer base will turn on you. Like it's part of it. Like and the bigger you get, they get even worse. You know. So yeah, it's I get it. But that was Go ahead.
Sorry. The first time, and I think the only times I ever got like hate comments was when like I'd be on duty, right? And it was random. I'd be on duty, and then something would happen across the city, like fucking all the way at Vespucci, and I'm at like all the way on the other side of the world, and I get people sending comments in chat like, "What the fuck is wrong with you cops? Piece of shit cops! I fucking hate you cops!
Yeah.
Cop pixel!" It was so weird, and that's how I'd like find out about a 13 alpha popping off before it happened, because they'd look for the first streamer with cop uniform on. That shit was funny.
And
to
you know
me.
who got it worse too? He was telling me, and like, this is I fuck with Tinker a lot, and he got like very depressed on it. When he got like fired from the PD and stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, he got a lot of hate comments, a lot. You really gotta be built for this shit. That's why, like, now you'll never see me even like look at comments. I don't give a fuck because it means nothing. It's meaningless. You don't look at it; it doesn't even exist. You know? You just gotta keep moving, because I think that an antagonist character that's willing to take risk will soar. I think if you kind of just, I don't want to piss this character off, or I don't want to do this to this character because of like the OOC clout. I think I feel like it shouldn't affect your IC decisions, but it is tough being in that moment at that point. But you kind of have to just not care.
I'm lucky, man. I have a solid like team of mods.
Yeah.
I get that shit before I even see it sometimes, right? And
my mods be sleeping. I don't even know.
But yeah, I don't know why I feel like I should get way more hate comments than I do. Considering I talk shit to everybody I meet.
Yeah.
So like you'd think like if someone had 10K viewers, like maybe 20 or 30 of their parasocial viewers are like, why the fuck did this piece of shit call my streamer a bitch?
Yeah.
Like who the hell does he think he is? But I don't get that. I don't get that at all. Nobody helped.
You play a great character, man, and it like I don't see where the hate could come from, And I've seen people who shouldn't even get hate, but I don't know. I feel like even the way you approach stuff, it always kind of sounds like banter. So you kind of have to be like a real invested parasocial to be like,
I mean, I feel like one thing that helps me is every time I talk, I think of jokes, right? I think of something funny to say, and when I think about it, I'm easy. I make myself laugh too easily. I laugh right before talking.
Yeah. So
and
it's
maybe
like,
maybe they're like, okay, he's not serious, The guy's literally he can't hold his laugh in while he's talking, right?
Yeah.
That probably helps.
I think I always enjoy your character, even when you like came to like Prodigy. I was like,
Yo, cop, bro. I love running into your cop. Like,
remember you're
the
like
back and forth with him was fucking funny as shit.
You're like, bro, and then like PD's so serious, right? Like in that
they got
server,
mad at me. They thought it was personal,
bro. They talk to me after the like, what's going on with you and Carmine? I'm like, oh nah, that's just like an old time friend, just banter. Then they're like, yeah, but we want to know, like, we want to know, is he like true to PD, like, because like, I don't know, they was like investigating you, and I'm just like, bro, it's not that serious, man. Like, he's a good copy, like, okay, cool.
You should have stuck to the character and said that piece of shit's bothering me. I want him out. I can't do a shift while he's on duty. He's fucking with me.
I was just like, no, because I'm like, nah, I don't want him to get fired again. Like, I was like, you didn't even do anything.
I swear to you, like 70% of my suspensions on Nopxiel It's because I was fucking going back and forth with someone that could take the
Yeah.
back and forth, and like people obscure on the sidelines would be like, "Oh my god, did he just say that? Can he say that?" Then they'd go to the captain, and then the captain would drag me into the captain's office, and then insubordination, 25 strike points or whatever, and then I get suspended.
Damn.
I'd never get suspended by the people I'm talking shit to, because like I don't know if you can tell, but like roleplay demographic, there's like I feel like there's two camps. There's one that gets it
Yeah.
and like you can fuck around with them, and then there's another camp that believes their ego is tied to their character, like they are
Yeah.
their character. If you call them a bitch, you're not calling you're calling
Yeah.
them a
Yeah.
bitch.
Yeah.
And they
And,
take that shit personally.
and you kind of like you kind of can read the room, but like you said, like if you're talking to somebody and then someone else hears you, and also I think it's like you said, like an ego, like power, or a lot of elements play in that where it's like, nah, like, bro, you doing too much, you too funny, get the nah. And I can silence that, I'm gonna. So that's why when they were like doing that in the other server we was in, I was kind of like, nah, he's cool, because I didn't want them, like, they were like, I feel like they was being a little bit too serious about it when they could clearly see in the context that me and you were throwing back banter back and forth, So, and I think it's like the viewers like that. It's fun, right? To see like cops like not be like cops have like arcs and not be so serious, Not like gotta book this guy, jail, repeat. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
there's other shit,
Exactly. I mean, when back in the day when I did cop shit, like I'd fuck with you in particular because I'd understand that you wouldn't take nothing personally. At the end of the day, it's all fun and games. And I remember that when I kidnapped you. You remember when the shit that came from that was fucking funny as
Bro,
shit, man.
Bro, I
Mateo
couldn't stop
too.
laughing when I'm like, because you just I don't know where I was coming from, but you just stormed upon me. I don't know, some shootout happened and I was down, and you just came out of nowhere. You're like, well, and I couldn't.
It's
And then
the
you call Kay, and then Kay's like,
You know what
the
he
fuck?
did? You know what he did? He snitched.
We all
Bro,
snitched.
I'm telling you,
we all
every
snitched.
time, and I get my character's the one that gets called the snitch. Every time I do anything to CG and K's involved, he does /me records every time, man. And then we go to court, and you hear these fucking stupid ass tapes of me saying shit, and oh my god,
Bro, I'm telling you, it was so funny, man. And then when you said that message where you're like, I'm targeting Zolo. I'm coming. The first person I'm coming for. Bro, I couldn't stop laughing. I'm like, that's so hilarious, man. I'm coming for Zolo. I'm letting him know what time it is. Fuck him.
bro, you're lucky. They kept me as a cadet the whole time. At no point did I have the chance. If I was solo,
Bro, I just got solo.
Just now?
Like, that's how long I've been. And it was like, now I'm solo, bro. Because, like, I study from guys like you and, like
That's a mistake.
Rami on Cop is really good, too. I study from that. Because that's, like, I used to look at Cop like it was boring, It's like, ugh. But then it's like, this is my first time actually, like, being a cop. And I'm like, bro, there's so much things you can do because, like, you're just walking into people's content.
Yeah, that's another thing with Cop, and the reason I like it so much, you can literally it's like a pass to self-insert.
Yeah.
You can insert yourself into any situation, and you don't get and not just that, you can insert yourself and you can take that bitch over. You can make it your situation. So two people arguing about baby mama drama, you're like, hey, what's going on here? It's disturbing the peace.
Bro,
fucking slam cuffs on them.
I pulled up to this guy yesterday who was like, the full-on surgical gloves, mask, no personality, whatever. So he's like threatening to shoot me, and I was like calling him soft. I was like, man, like, ain't no shootouts. You guys are soft. But anyway, I turned it into some like cool banter. Ended up doing a dice roll with him, taking his 10K. But it was cool because it's like I've never been able. I don't know. I feel like with Cop, it's like making my role play like, because I felt not limited, but like I was like, you kind of like when you're in crim, you kind of stay in your circle,
Hmm.
so you don't get to experience other crews. And then like if you're in a certain circle, they already like maybe fear of you, you know. But like
Yeah.
when you're on a cop, you just pull up to like
Or
random.
a Civ too. Like Civs, like if you play a crim and you try to, and you're not like a top echelon criminal, or you don't have like, I mean, I don't think this plays a part, but if you don't have clout, or
Yeah.
you're not like a high end crim, you can't just, you know, walk around and banter with people. Like
No,
there's
you
a
get
barrier of entry.
you get
But if you're a
shit
civil,
on. Yeah.
yeah, if you're a civilian and those people know that, you know, you're not trying to do shit but fuck around,
Yeah.
then you get a pass. That's another reason why I like playing Civ. I can literally walk up to a gang leader, talk shit, and walk away, and nothing happens. But if I
Yeah.
was part of a different gang, they feel, oh, he's pressing me. Oh my god,
Then
shit,
it
my
turns in
A.
yeah, it turns into this thing, and you're like getting shot and pocket wiped. You're like, ah, fuck this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that
So
shit kills me, man.
yeah,
That shit, I cannot do that.
I,
I
I
mean, when ego is introduced to an environment where you're supposed to have fun, I mean, I get it. You know, it's fun. Esports is fun. Like competitive shit is fun.
yeah,
But I don't. I don't know. I feel like it's got its time and its place.
it's got its
And
time,
when
its
if you're not,
place. Yeah,
and if you're not in the mood for it, and it's like it's thrown your way, you're like it just kills your drive.
that's why I like. That's why I really like K, right? Because you know K's been through all of that type of conflict, like 2.0, 3.0, like, and now he's like, you know, you can see he's evolved and pivoted, and it's kind of like I seen a clip where he was talking about he's not avoiding conflict, but conflict stops other role play,
I
right?
miss the old K. I
And
miss the gang leader K. At least that K wouldn't snitch me out. He'd shoot me instead. At least then my record's clean, man.
nah, you don't want Demon K. He's a whole different animal. You know what I'm saying? He's no mercy. He's like take everything, fuck him. Um. Oh, yesterday, right? I was playing cop, which was funny. So I this guy's just standing on the side of the road. So I was like, you know, I'm like, let me see what's up with this guy. I talked to the guy, and I'm joking around with him, and he's like giving me one word and answer. I don't have to give you my name. I don't have to do this, whatever. So I get out of the car and I'm like joking with him, and I'm like, you know, I can give you a ticket for loitering. You're standing here, you know? And he's like, oh, what happened to guilty till proven innocent, or innocent till proven guilty, right? I said, what happened to, you ever heard of obey or die? Right?
You know, that's the funniest part about playing cop is when they think you're supposed to follow the rule book, but then you take them out back and bludgeon them with a baton, and they're like, "What the fuck? Hey, you're not supposed to do this."
that, that was my Carmine impression, whatever. But he was just like not bouncing back. So he just like, I was like, all right, cool. So then like 2 hours later, I get called into the office, and I'm like, they're like, oh, Officer Grant, did you say this?
Classic.
So I'm getting in trouble. I just denied the whole thing. I was like, obey
That's
or
what
die.
you do. You know, one thing I learned from captain's office and PD reprimand: never tell them the truth. And if you do tell them a story, never like blame something. Like tell them a story that's a lie, but make it sound like you did something bad. Like say they pull you into the captain's office and they say, hey, you beat this person. You say, no, I didn't beat that person, but I forgot to put in the paperwork, and I'm sorry, and I'll do better next time.
Oh,
It's 2000 IQ.
yeah.
You're not from their point of view. You're not like taking blame away from yourself. You just, you know, you're making big problems feel like a small problem.
You're
and you feel
shifting,
bad
you know.
about it.
You're shifting. Yeah, you're like, oh shoot,
That
like
got me out of a lot of trouble.
that's smart. I'm gonna use that. But yeah,
Yeah.
so what's the goal and what's next for 52 Chains? Like,
I have no plans, man. I'm just coasting.
yeah,
This shit could die. I mean, I hope it doesn't. I don't think it is, but this shit could die maybe even like a month from now. But I don't like to like plan for things, because when you plan for things and you don't achieve those objectives, it demoralizes you. So I try and take every day as I go and have as much fun as I can while I'm doing it, while also having a semi-successful Twitch, you know, career or whatever.
So it's just more of like living in the now, but like constant flowing type shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Because
go ahead.
I feel like in role play, especially in RP, if you plan for things and like a certain progression path, you start to like pigeonhole what you can do later on. Like if you're on a one track path, maybe there's something you could have done like differently that could have like ended up better.
Mm.
For example of me, I had no plans of making Carmine a cop or whatever or DOC. I did that shit on a whim. And yeah, I just that's my philosophy when it comes to this shit. Just try not to say no to things and don't
Don't pigeonhole
box
yourself. Yeah.
myself in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, another question. How comes you don't show your face? Is that just a thing, or
No, I don't have a camera and I'm lazy, man.
you got a
Does it
camera right
help?
now?
There's yeah, right now because my phone. But do you think having a camera on stream helps? You know, with like numbers and getting the viewer streamer relationship.
Nah, okay. So I think I don't like I've seen people who don't show their face and have 20,000 viewers. I've seen people who show their face and have one viewer. I don't think it's a I don't think it's a thing. But I think it depends on what you want to, like like you said, if you wanted to stick in role play, but if you wanted to do other things, I think people, I don't know. Me personally, like, that's just my opinion. My opinion ain't shit. But I think it would be cool you showing your face. I think it would be cool.
Juxtaposed with the character I'm playing.
Nah, just like, because like, bro, I'm gonna keep it a buck, right? My inspiration when I looked at Nopxiel, I didn't see nobody that looked like me. You know what I'm saying?
I see. Yeah.
So the only, and then I was like, damn, like, like they, like, but like the first thing you're like, oh shit, like, man, like, I ain't got no black folks in there. I don't even know, you know what I'm saying? And then I seen Dean so cool, and I was like, oh, he looked like me, he act like me, oh, he could do it, and then that's what really set me apart. Where I'm like, all right, I could go. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, sometimes you might be an inspiration, and I feel like people don't know that you're black. So
yeah, you know what? It's consideration. I might do it, man. I might actually pull the trigger. Who knows?
yeah,
Who knows? My one fear is just, I don't know. You know when you're in your fucking head and you're doing your thing?
yeah.
You're like zoned out. You forget what your face is doing. And sometimes I do weird shit with my face when I'm trying to focus.
But but even that is good, because it's like, yo, it's like, I don't know. Like, I think obviously you have this like subconscious thought where you're like, bro, like, yo, what if I'm doing this? What if I'm doing that? But it's like, when you look at like K, he'll be like on camera or some shit like that. And you'll just be like, but it just makes it even that much better. I could watch K and like still, I'll be like, I'm still looking at like Mr. K. Like when I met Kevin in person, like it took me like a second to be like, oh, this is like a real person. like cause his voice is different. He's like very calm. It took me a second, because I'm like, that's how in tune he plays. But you're like, oh,
he doesn't wait. He doesn't randomly moan in public when you're with him?
No, I didn't see him moan. He's still fun. He's funny as fuck, but he's just more like calm and chill. Like he's just like, yeah, like he's from Philly. Like he one of us, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like he from Philly. He got all the he rocking nice outfits and stuff. Like he hip. He's with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's another, like, improv is another lane. Like, oh yeah, I want to ask you this. I forgot to ask you this. Have you ever thought about like acting and stuff?
No. You think I can do that shit?
100%, bro.
Well, like acting or voice acting?
Acting, man. What are you doing every day? You're acting. Off the fly. You ain't, remember, actors read a script, they shoot for 3 to 6 months. you this person, you gotta be this person, and that, like, you know, they're on set, couple hours, they're shooting the scene. It might take them like an hour to shoot that scene, and they go do makeup. They go over here, next scene. You playing this character,
Like embodying the character and shit, right?
8 hours straight. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you know, one thing I was hoping for was because, you know, No Pixels in the GTA, you know, social sphere is like mainstream, right? Like most people who know about GTA Online or
Yeah,
GTA
it's
Roleplay,
just No
they know
Pixel,
about
yeah.
No Pixels.
Yeah.
I was hoping fucking Rockstar picked up on that shit and cast a few of like the No Pixel mainstays in GTA 6, just like a side characters.
Honestly, I thought that, and I was like, it's crazy because I was like, I thought the same thing. I was talking to Mateo about it, maybe like last year. I was like, there's no way these guys don't pick up like Mr. K or something for a GTA character. But then I seen something on T-Pain stream, and he was talking about it, and he's doing some stuff with it, and that's why he was. And then he was saying he couldn't play on No Pixel because they're like, you know, about GTA 6, so it might be a conflict of interest. And then he was like, then they did a partnership with No Pixel. So I think, and 50 Cent's doing something. I think 50 Cent's producing the music or something. 50 Cent has a deal with Rockstar. But who knows? Maybe they do. Maybe they will, right? Because it's gonna be a forever evolving thing, like like, so they might pick up characters.
Who knows? Maybe you know how they picked up CFX?
Yeah.
I mean, this might be a reach, but who's to say GTA Online isn't like a CFX thing? You know, who says they do it differently in GTA 6 where they make it like server based?
Oh yeah,
you know?
I think they're
Like,
gonna make it like
both of them in one.
I think they're gonna make it like. Have you ever seen the Rust servers?
Yeah, I've seen the Rust servers.
They're gonna. I
Like
think they're gonna make it like that. Like you gotta go into their database because, bro, there's so much. They're gonna want a piece of this, bro.
I don't. The thing with roleplay though is, you can't just make a server and boom, you have the best characters, the best storylines. Like,
no, I
most
think
people are casuals, right? So if you just open up a Rockstar server like how Rust does, and you fill it with casual players, it's gonna be like boring as shit.
I think with this, like the Rust, like I think it's gonna be like the CFX in it with all the servers that people make. So like No Pixel will have its server, but it will be within Rockstar, like within the GTA shit. You get what I'm saying?
Do you think they're gonna have? Yeah. Do you think they're gonna have like official servers, like official Rockstar, like dedicated? Like I think Rust or maybe it's DayZ. One of them has like servers like made by the game devs.
Yeah, I think they're gonna. I think there's no way they're not seeing No Pixel. I think they're gonna. And again, it can be a good or bad thing because it can, it can. Like people say it might be a bad thing because it can also restrain certain things, but I still think it's gonna be a big thing, and because there's so much people who play GTA that don't even know about roleplay.
Yeah, the console guys, right?
The console guys, the online guys. There's millions of them. So I think once they start putting that in their database, I still think there's gonna be their top servers. Not any and everybody can get in, and they'll just like, hey, No Pixel, come over here. This is what it's gonna be, and No Pixel's gonna do it. But I don't know. The future of but they're not gonna the GTA 6. They're not gonna miss out on that.
Yeah, I hope so too, man. I hope they capitalize on it in a way where they don't just like steal the value out of it, but they like add value to it while taking value out. Yeah,
and that's why you got to have someone in the building that understands it, right? You can't have a 70-year-old man that doesn't understand it. You know what I mean? So, I think from what I've been told and heard here, they're working with No Pixel, and I think that's like that's the bar, right? And it's gonna allow even other servers to because, bro, I've been to a lot of servers, man, and still like you can't deny like No Pixel, like they're the top, man, and they've got the best role players. you know. So it's
I
a
have a. Mhm.
go ahead.
Sorry, I have a question about public. You played on it. Did the bowl cut surgical gloves goggle? Did that come from public? Is that a public thing?
Yeah, that
Because
started.
now it's everywhere,
Yeah,
man.
that started.
Every
That
server you go
started.
to.
That started from, and it's crazy because like the original bowl cuts, those guys, like those guys role played. You know, those guys were like kids. They were learning, but like when me and like Ming and no and like when the public started, there was a lot of role play, but because all the people that didn't feel like they could fill out the app would get in there. So you had like really good role play. But then when the surgical gloves, the 5M Arena guys, when they realized they could get in there, they started coming in there.
Yeah.
And then it watered down. But there was a lot of good in public because again, like you said, a lot of people didn't stream, right? So then you got like you got these arcs that people are invested in. You got these things, but then you know 2-3 guys would stream. Like I would stream, Big would stream it, and then like you're just getting stream snipe. You're just getting this. It just started getting overwhelming because you're just like getting VDM, RDM, the FA people running up FA quit, and you know,
Brother, I don't think I've had people FA quit on me and like I don't think I've ever reported anybody. I feel like the only thing I'd ever report anyone for is like I don't know if they said some foul shit over the mic.
yes,
And they're like that's the only time I feel
I've
like I
never
report someone.
okay. So like I've never reported someone unless they're like cheating, right? Like you can see when they're cheating, whatever. But most admins are on that, right? But I've only
Yeah.
reported one person, and he was like to me, he said something. So it at the time it was this was before the rule of 6 came in. I think it was still
Mhm.
4-4, and we got robbed doing Oxy. So these guys robbed us. So we see what they were driving, and we seen them. So we pull up, and then we're like, and this was like the new server. So there was like maybe 1 or 2 people had guns, but it was just like hammer and knives, whatever. So we pull up, and we're like to the guy, get out the car, whatever. So we end up killing them. And then as we're robbing them, one guy comes and he's like taking them and putting it in his car. So it's like, bro, like, you know, this is not your situation. Get out of here, whatever. And he's like, what do you mean? What do you do? You can't just be doing this. And I was like, bro, this is not your situation. Just, you know, I'm kind of hinting him like, bro, this is a 4. You coming in, you the 5th. Get the fuck out of here. So he was like, I'm like, listen, bro, if you continue to bring this person, I'm going to stab you. He's like, oh, I'm going to do what I want. Fuck you. Stabbed him, whatever.
Was he yelling while he was down?
This motherfucker was yelling, what is this dog shit RP? Blah, blah, blah. Now all of a sudden he's fucking RP. Got her. Right? What is this dog shit RP? You just randomly da 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 da. And I was like, all right, bro, you on the ground, shut the fuck up. And he's like, you shut the fuck up, you N-word. Like ER. Like not, you know what I'm saying? Not saying my nigga. Like, he's like, you shut the F up, you ER. I said, oh hell. And like his real accent came out. You know what I'm saying? Like
Kentucky?
So I knew this one I knew this one admin, I just sent her the clip. And he was yeeted. He even OOC'd random guy robbing people at the apartments to like, and I was like, bro, this guy's like, and then he got yeeted. That was my first time reporting someone. I've seen fucked up shit, but it's like, and then like especially in like whitelist, I don't report, man, because it's like sometimes it could be someone's bread or butter. You don't know the situation.
Yeah. You know, I feel like whenever I get in like conflict type situations, I try not to make it like super serious where the person's entire fucking, you know, trajectory is shifted.
Yeah.
Like getting a cop fired or a crim, you know, kicked out of their gang. That type of shit. Like I approach that shit with like it's not good for role play. Like if you don't get in situations like that, everything feels mundane. You need to get in situations like that to keep things interesting. but just because of how NoPixel is and people's like careers tied into it, doing something like that is like giving someone like a emotion in their IRL job, from like manager to, you
Yeah.
know. But do you have any? I want to ask you a question. Do you have any plans with your characters or whatever on NoPixel?
Like right now, it's like it's hard to get in. I don't have prio, so it's like extremely hard to get in. But
Okay.
yeah, I plan to like do the music scene. I'm gonna be doing like making a company, like jingle company, where I make jingles for different businesses, right? To like make some money quickly, because everybody's like I said, everybody's focused on like mechanics and like grinding, and there's so much other ways. But everybody wants a business. Everybody needs uh everybody needs something. So if I can provide a value, then I become the rich guy, you know?
You know what I this is recent. This was this Christmas, right? I was playing like a bunch of Gucci Mane Christmas songs, and I fell into this rabbit hole. Every fucking rapper has a fucking Christmas jingle song.
Yeah, yeah.
DMX has one, Ludacris has one, 50 has. They all have one.
Because they work. You know what I'm saying?
That's
And I've got like
funny to me.
the cool thing is I've got like a pool of like friends that are songwriters, producers. So like I could get girls' voices. You want a country singer, I can get that. And I
Mhm.
think that will be like cool for the server because they haven't seen something like that.
Yeah.
We can shoot commercials. I got like a crazy video editor guy that can do all that GTA cool shit. So
Oh god, I already see it.
yeah.
You're gonna help Mr. K build a fucking empire, and I'm gonna hate you for it.
Just
Damn.
something that adds value, something that adds
Yeah.
value. And then obviously I want to introduce my PD character. Um and hopefully like once like PD starts evolving, I can come in there and do that. And I just want to get Zolo into like more the business stuff, more role play, and more into expand into different reaches, different people. And because like in real life, like I'm like a people person. Like I know people. Hey yo, you got this. Like I've been a hustler from I was like a kid. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always like, oh, I know Thing from the West. Oh, I know he's the homie. Like, but like I feel like in role play, I'm not like that at all. And it's just like, huh? So I need to like apply that. I don't know why I'm not like that in role play because
But
I'm
no,
a people.
I feel like RP's different though, because RP's like it's super compact,
But I
and
feel
it's
like you need to be a people person. But I think it's a mind thing for me because it's like I don't want to be the clout chaser.
yeah, I can see, yeah. I when you do things morally, and it goes against the grain, you fuck yourself. I did that to myself, man. I feel like 3.0, if I just followed the trend and I kept following the trend of just cloud chasing people, I feel like I'd be much more quote unquote successful on Twitch. But I just can't bring myself to it. And it's not because I think it's like a dirty thing.
It's just
I
not
don't
you.
know.
That's just not you.
Yeah, and when I get in that headspace of doing things because of you know OOC success or whatever, it just it forces me to like act differently
Yes,
and
and
not authentic.
and I have a policy right where I go through life with like I have my inner self and I have my outer self like and I don't go through life expecting, right? I think when you expect I think things always with success, it doesn't go with the most successful people. There was never like a how to. It was just like I'm going to be successful and I'm going to be consistent at something and I'm going to do certain things, but it's never like, hey, I do one step, this step, and then on the third step, that's where I'm going, right? Um
Yeah,
so I think the mindset of like clout chasing is like the expectation. I'm gonna talk to this guy, and when I talk to this guy or this girl, I'm gonna get in this group and I'm gonna blow up. And I don't move off expectation. I move off of like knowing in a sense. So I know what you're saying where you're like, well, 3.0, I could have did this, but morally it doesn't sit right. So it wouldn't have worked for you. because it's not you.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
now you're building a solid foundation, and bro, you've built. Everybody knows Carmine. I feel like you gonna get your shine. Like, and to be fair, you have your shine right now. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think we should always measure numbers of success.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's kind of like we're not appreciating what we have now.
You're right about that. I feel like I remember back in the day when I hit like my first 40, 50 viewers concurrently, I was ecstatic as shit. I was so happy, man. I was like, oh shit, 50 subs, 50 viewers. I'm fucking killing it. I'm doing this shit. And then it kept going up and up and up. And then it plateaued. It stopped. And then it dipped a little. And that small dip from like maybe 200 to 160, that shit killed my drive. And I took my foot off the pedal and I slowed down and I just fucking spiraled. And then I got another break and it shot up to like 250 or 300. And then it dipped again. And those dips for me, I don't know why, it's psychological. Even though I have more views than I had like last year, those small dips like take so much, like,
And-
it strains you,
And
man.
I'm gonna tell you this because I was talking to Tinker. Me and Tinker were talking. He came into like the other server, and
Yeah.
he was like, because when I met Tinker was in public with me, right?
Yeah.
So Tinker had like, bro, I was like, I would go on Tinker's stream and he would have like 300 viewers, 1,500 subs. I was like, yo, this guy, how's this guy getting all this? Like, and then I'm on TikTok. I see him on TikTok. He's on TikTok live. He has like 5,000 viewers. He was like the guy on TikTok, right? So this is the guy. So he telling me like, yo, like Tinker just stopped streaming. And he was telling me like same shit. Like he got depressed, came out of PD, he lost momentum, he just stopped, and then, when it dipped. So I go by this rule, right? Where I'm like, because I used to be like that, right? I used to be like, bro, public, I had like 7 people in my stream. I was like, yo, da, 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 da. And I got around Ming and I started getting like 30, 40. And I was like, oh shit, like this is crazy. And then I was like, bro, if I can hold 40, if I can hold 30, I'm good. Like, like
That's a classroom.
that's a classroom. And then the 50 subs, and you're getting the 50 subs, you're like, oh shit. And then like you said, you go into Nopxiel, you get around certain people. I went up to like, I think I went up to like 400 subs. I was like, ooh, yo, I got a raid by shots. I got this, I got that. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Then it dips again. Then it dips. But one thing I say, I don't even look at my viewer count because
Me too.
because
That fucks with you, man.
you know why? It's like I now go on my stream. Yo, if there's one person in my stream, I act like that's 1,000 because it's like my goal was to hit 1,000 subs, right? And I'm like, bro, if I ever get to 1,000 subs, like, bro, I did a 24-hour Summit rated me. Summit 1G, right? Rated me. Boom. I was at like 450. Summit rated me. I was doing a 24-hour. Bro, I hit 1,000. First time ever. Boom. I'm like, all right, cool. I went back down. Like like a month later, I went back down to like 6, 5. And I started feeling my frequency, like my energy, like getting like and I said, Zo, snap the fuck out of it, bro. Because at the end of the day, like you hit these goals you set for yourself, like, okay, and they all feel the same. They feel the same. Like when I had 7 and how good I felt was the same way I felt when I hit 1,000, bro. Right? And then you get used to that. So now when you drop under 1,000, you're like, you're moving on a motion that is not appreciative.
Yeah, exactly.
So
because you're always chasing that high, right?
You're chasing
like
that high.
Peak.
So that's why, and I've been reading these crazy books, right? About quantum physics and all of that kind of cool stuff, right? And just
Who reads books on quantum physics?
Well, it's quantum physics. Like, listen, quantum physics is connected to spirituality, is connected to like manifestation, connected to your mind thoughts, right? So
Okay.
when you think negative, right, and you perceive negative, and your emotion is negative, then you will achieve negative things, right? So
Yeah.
that's why like depression is like, yo, when you say, oh, I'm set, like everything's a state, right? Like, so nothing can make you happy that's outside, right? Your state has to be happy, then things around you are happy, right? You,
I heard there's a mantra I read a while back where something about attraction, right?
yeah,
And if
attraction.
you want to if you want to attract good things towards you, you got to internally manifest that, like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
And that's like that's um that's like the basics of everything, right? But if you look at every successful person, you know, one thing they've done, right? And this is, we don't even have to go spiritual, we don't have to go quantum, we don't have to go religious. One thing they've done was consistency, right? So you don't think in those consistent times, you don't think there was like downs, right? We look at Mr. Kane, you're like 22,000 subs, 17,000 viewers. Mr. Kane's been doing this shit for 7 years. Every day at 4:30 p.m. for 6 days a week. Count that. What about
He does 6 days?
He does 6 days. He takes Saturday off. This guy is he's huge right now. You don't think he should be like, yo, bro, I'm up there right now. I should be taking, I'm gonna stream 4 days. He does this every day. Garrett, all of these guys, Rami, all of these guys, every day, shots every day. And you look, they're consistent. They don't stop. They don't, man, it's not going well. Mr. K has a story where he was talking and he was like, yo, I was doing a YouTube thing and I wasn't really liking it. And then, I was streaming, but it wasn't really paying the bills, but I kept going. Like, he could have stopped there. Do you know how much Mr. K's have stopped there and we don't know about? But one thing was consistency, because within consistency, you're repeating a work effort of you're keeping going. So no matter, you're gonna have your bad days, but you keep going, and that's what you're getting back. So you reap that. Everybody that I see that's not successful stops, fell off here, stop over here, down on themselves, goes into a negative spiral. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna take that mindset into a casino at Las Vegas. You know?
So I say that to you because I said that to Tinker, and I'm not like trying to preach, but I'm like, when I see guys like you guys, talented, gifted, like you don't know that like your true potential or your true purpose. Like, role play could just be that stepping stone for you to be an actor, a voiceover, create something that's not even been created. You know what I mean? So when you get down on yourself, always look how far you've come. Like, yo, like you said, you was in a server, you had like 5 viewers. Now look at you. You know what I'm saying? Monumental shit. So that's why you never compare yourself. Your journey is your journey is only gonna be your journey. It's not gonna be mimicked by anything else.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I feel like a main reason as to why like people start dropping off is I'm gonna say it's because of how Twitch is set up or social media. All of it is numbers based and engagement based. And like, open up Twitch now, you'll see a directory, and the only people you see on top. I mean, you can make it. There's a setting now, but back in the day, you open up the directory, you only see like the top streamers up there.
Yeah.
And the rest are just buried in obscurity.
Yeah. But then there's other things, right? Like, bro, you have so much content, like, you should be huge on TikTok. With the amount of funny shit you do, you get a TikTok guy, he should just be clipping all your shit. Yo, hey, I'm gonna invest in you for the next 6 months, clip everything I do, bomb. You be out of here. You see Space Boy?
Yeah, I've seen his shit.
Okay. That's all he
Seen his
Space
shit.
Boy goes crazy. He has just a shorts channel. He has a this because
He has 3 YouTubes.
3 YouTubes,
Three, all
bro.
of them 100K. I'm pretty sure.
Because at the end of the day, you're making content. Those 8 hours, 10 hours you stream, all content that can be reused, redistributed, everything. You know what I'm saying? TikTok, YouTube. Listen, I'm gonna find a guy that's gonna do it for me, and and that's it. And that's kind of like the
And
mindset. Then you build that 52 Chains fan base. That fan base that's not gonna go nowhere.
yeah, homegrown.
Homegrown, bro. You know what I'm saying? But that takes time. But you know what I'm saying? Like, so don't ever. I don't want to see a guy like you, you know. And I say this, I don't say this to everybody. I don't want to see a guy like you not. You know what I'm saying? You're too talented not to be like the talent you have. I would love to have, like, bro, this guy's witty. He knows how to da 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 da. He's so fucking like, bro. There's always someone that's like looking up to you or looking at you as like, damn, this guy's really good at what you do. So never ever like doubt yourself.
Same goes for you, man. If I could fucking sing, God, I'd go crazy. But yeah, when you're in the shoes and you're the one like doing the shit, your achievements, they don't look as great as they would like from someone on the outside.
Yeah.
And yes.
But that's why I said that's what you look at as success right now, when you get there, if that mentality doesn't change, you're gonna feel that same exact way there. So if your goal is 5,000 concurrent reviews, you're gonna get there and be like, it's cool, but like, man, I went down to 4,500 today, man. Like, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna be like, well, you got 4,500, like,
what you complaining about? Damn.
you got 400, 200 people that are watching you, taking their time watching you out, like donating subs.
Yeah.
Bro, like, appreciate those people, man. That's it.
Yeah. We'll see how we'll see how far this takes us, man.
Yeah. That's how I see it. And I appreciate you coming out to this pod, you know what I mean? You was efficient with it, and man, a lot of insight. I appreciate you telling us like the 52 Chains journey and goals, and just even us getting into like some side arcs on fucking this interview.
You sent me the channel, right? And I was usually they last an hour, right?
Yeah, as I said, this was 135 right now. This one's deep. You was kind of interviewing me too, so that's the part in you. Hey. That's why.
Joe Rogan. Let's
Black
talk
Joe
about
Rogans.
gorillas. Yeah.
Let's talk about them aliens in Miami.
Nah, I'm playing. Oh yeah, you see that shit?
I see the shit, but I don't see the shit. Like, it's like.
So the official report is that it was
some shooters,
a bunch of kids. A bunch of kids firing fireworks and fighting with sticks or some shit. But they had 100+ cops out there for some reason.
Bro, I live in Miami.
Cop cars?
I live in Miami, right? There's a shooting. There's like 2 cop cars pulling up. Like, bro, I seen 100 cop cars. I was like, this shit is crazy. But hey,
why are the aliens? Why the 10-foot shadow alien? You know. No, but you Google it and it's a bunch of fucking kids with masks on. A bunch of memes. It's fucking funny as shit. Hey. But hey, 6 days into 2024 and they're already talking about aliens.
Hey man, whatever they don't want us to see or want us to see, we'll see. That's it, man. Like, like the thing with conspiracy theorists, right? Because I used to be one. I used to go down that rabbit hole. Anything and everything could be possible. Everything and anything could be parallel, and everything and everything could not be possible, right? So, but my point is like, what if you find out that there is aliens, or these motherfuckers are trying to kill us? They're poisoning our food. They're doing all of this stuff. What can you do? It's too late. It's like, it's too late. It's too late. There's nothing you can do. Like, what are you gonna do?
Yep. I remember the tiny little alien fossils or whatever they had in Peru or somewhere South America.
Yeah.
And I looked at them and I was like, this is fucking some clay model someone made in their backyard. And it had a bunch of people fucking convinced.
Bro.
I was like, shit, you can convince people of anything nowadays.
Yeah, and I'm not saying there's not like, but like, let's just be real. Like, if there's other things or entities out there, we would be aliens to them too. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we don't know. We don't know what happened. Like, you know, like, bro, like we don't know certain shit. So at the end of the day, but it gets the clicks going, right? And that's why I learned it's just all clicks, all ad revenue,
engagement farming,
bro. It's that's why I don't really look too much into it. I never even heard about it until like a day or ago. I'm like, this shit happened here. So I might say I seen them aliens, and I'm gonna tell my story on twitch.tv/Zolo.
That's how you do that. If you do that shit and you close it out with you putting on an alien mask and say you look just like this, be funny as shit.
Hey,
ever.
20,000 current viewers. I made it, boys. I made it.
Thank you, 10-foot aliens. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's always something for somebody.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's the interview with 52Chains. If you liked it, make sure you make sure you subscribe, put a thumbs up in the comments. Hey, you never know, we might do a part 2. 52Chains, is there anything you want to let the audience know before we end this beautiful interview?
I already know it. You're gonna have my face up on one side and my character's face up on the other on the thumbnail, right? Make him look handsome. I already look good. Make my character look good. It's
a default pen, okay? We can't do nothing. We can't do nothing about that ugly character.
You know what? Then yeah, I ain't got nothing else to say other than that.
All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Make sure you like again, because this helps it in the algorithm. And peace.